Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Otumba Adams Show. My name remains Adams Olafemi, and you are welcome specially. How is life? How is work? How is business? And how is everything that is dear to you? All right. So on this episode, I rather, would be interviewing another entrepreneur and someone who does humanitarian services to help teenagers. Today, I'll be interviewing Oluwalonimi Oniya. All right. And I will be reading her bio to us right now before she herself will come around to introduce herself. Okay, so Oluwalonimi Oniya is a teens advocate, writer, linguist, agripreneur, and a published author. She's the director of Heartbeat Leadership School, HLS. The school is a subsidiary of Monique Initiatives and is saddled with the responsibility of growing teenagers into responsible and successful individuals. She studied French language at Adeyemi College of Education, Ondo, and has been working with teenagers for 2 years. She published her first book in 2021 with a view of correcting the mindset of mediocrity that most young ones function with. After God, her greatest source of inspiration comes from burdens. When she loses all motivations and sees the way things are going with young people, she's constantly reminded that, motivated or not, there's a lot of work to be done, and she really needs to play her part in uprooting the agenda of the evil ones in their lives. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please help me welcome specially and warmly Miss Oluwalonimi Oniya. Hello, welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm so glad to be
Thank
here.
you for being a part of the show. Yes, it's actually a pleasure having you on the show. All right, so let's get to know you better. Who is Miss Oluwalonimi Oniya? I know that I've already introduced you, but tell us more about yourself that we really do not know about.
Okay. My name is Oluwalonimi Oniya, like you've rightly said, and I'm 22 years old. I'm based in Akure, Ondo State, in Nigeria. I love singing. I love to dance. I love to write. I love to meditate. And I like anything that has to do with growth and self-development. Yeah, I'm the first child among 6 children.
Yeah, okay.
And
That's
yes,
that's huge. That's a huge family.
it is. It is.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So are you done introducing yourself?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah, and I'm single and not searching.
All right, all right. I'm sure the brothers out there that will probably be watching this later on will know that, like, she's single, but she's not searching right now. Okay,
Yeah,
so on to the next question. What inspired you to do what you're currently doing? I know that, like, you are into agripreneur and you also run an NGO. What spurred you to wanting to do everything together?
okay. Well, the basic thing that, just like you said in the intro earlier, it's burdens for me, basically. Talking about the business part of what I do, being an agripreneur, I found out when I was much younger that Africa is the second largest food producing continent in the whole world. We have
True.
people, we have resources, we have fertile grounds, but at the same time, fertile lands rather. But even with all these blessings we have, food is very expensive in this part of the world. We don't have proper preservation methods for our food, and also the burden of that actually made me to look at, okay, what can I do? What problem can I solve? How can I come in? How can I make food easier to prepare for people while still retaining the nutrients that comes with this food? So that was what actually spurred me to agribusiness. And then talking about the NGO part of what I do, like I said
Okay.
earlier, the burden of, I see a lot of adults nowadays, and they are not happy with the kind of lives they are living. They're not living to their fullest. They are just there. They wish they could have done some things better when they were much younger. So I just feel, why can't we help these younger generations coming up, help them to minimize the mistakes that they would make later on in life? Help them. A lot of us, like adults who just jumped in on us, we didn't know when we became adults. We just woke up one day and discovered, oh, wow, I'm already an adult. very soon I'm expected to get married, and then you got married, and then you are like, wow, now I'm a father or I'm a mother. Like all these roles
Hmm.
just caught us unawares like that. So, and how can we inform these younger ones of things they need to know about life? So this is actually what propelled me to do the things that I do for teenagers, for the young girls, the young boys out there, things that they need, the necessary skill sets, the information they need to harm themselves with to scale through life, you know. So that's basically it for me.
Okay, so if I were to ask you, so far, I know that like you've been working with them for the past 2 years. How many
Yes.
teenagers have you been able to work with in terms of their numbers? Have you done over 100, 200, 1,000, 10,000?
Okay. Well, I have direct contact with 40 teenagers, but then
Okay.
we've had programs over the years and we've had hundreds of teenagers in attendance.
Oh wow, wow, that's great. I know that like that takes a lot, especially trying to like talk to teenagers whose
Yeah.
emotions are just growing and like they don't even have an idea what they want to do with their lives. Okay, kudos to
Yes.
you. Now, my next question is this:
Okay.
what are the challenges you faced while starting off, right? And have you been able to overcome these challenges?
Okay. Well, while starting off, I faced a lot of challenges. I come from a broken home. My mom and dad are
Oh,
not together, so yes, it had a way of it affected me while growing up. I'm being a first
okay.
child among six children, and from a very humble background, you can understand what that means. So I had to grow
Yes,
up
I
quite
totally do.
yeah, I had to be quite responsible at a very early age. Then finances also was one of those things that affected me starting up. Then growing up, I used to be I'm still an introvert anyway. But the difference between me of now and then is that, you know, when I got to find out that I'm going to do a lot around people, I began to deliberately get skills on how to relate with people, how to deal with people, the old, the young, age mates, the children, and now I can switch in between all these age ranges like with ease, but it wasn't easy at first. Back then I used to like challenge myself whenever I see people after I'm done talking with them, I'm like, wow, so Nimi, did they eat you? No, so we're going to do more of this next time. So it used to be like that. Then another area where I had issues with, where I had challenges with
Okay.
is in terms of people, like, would they accept what I have to offer? When they say I'm too young, yeah, people told me straight up to my face that I'm too young for some things I do. I have people that tell me things like, oh, you are too ambitious for a young lady, you know, and other things like that.
Hmm.
Some people will come up and tell me, oh, you can't make a good wife. You know, they just have their own
Wow,
reasons. They have their own
wow.
perspective about things. Yes. And
Okay,
then
so
at the
I'm
time,
sorry,
I
but
had,
can I just cut you short a little bit? Just to say something.
all right,
If anybody
okay,
should say anything to you that you know that like it is not for you or like God has not told you, I don't think that like anybody
yeah,
should believe in it because people would always have their own opinions, but it is what you believe
yeah,
in yourself that would actually stand on the long run. All right, so you can continue with what you were saying.
yeah. Thank you very much for chipping that in, sir.
All right.
Yeah, so how was I able to overcome these challenges? Well, for some, I've been able to outgrow them, and for some, I'm still in the process of
Mm-hmm.
outgrowing or overcoming them. But then there are only two things that helped me. That's constant growth and self-development. You know, one thing I just know, I don't have a greatest challenge because whenever I have a challenge, I just understand that, okay, I'm lacking knowledge in this area. There has to be
True.
something I can do that can help me to get over this, that can help me to step up. So whenever these challenges I listed, you know, finances, parental issues, and a lot of other things like that, I had to talk to myself. I had to sit myself down, and I understood that okay, I need to grow. What is required for me is to grow. So that's how I was able to overcome these challenges. I was able to grow past some of those feelings, some of those remarks, some of those emotions I used to feel back then and the like. So it's basically growth and self-development that helped me to scale through. And yes, I'm still growing, so I'm still overcoming challenges. I still have so many challenges I'm facing right now that I'm still overcoming.
Okay. Okay, great, great, great. All right. I know that like we are all a work in progress, and no matter where we are, we can always do better. And it's really great to know that like you're actually pushing yourself to be a better version of yourself every single day. All right, on to my next question. What are the top software or apps you use in running your business? What are the top softwares or apps that you use in running your business?
Okay, well, presently I use only three apps. I use
Okay.
WhatsApp, I use Facebook and Instagram. Then when I
Okay.
published my first book, it exposed me to Amazon and Seller. So I use that as well. And
Okay.
I
Can
tend
you shed light on each of the softwares that you just listed and like tell us what you use each one to do, so that the audience out there can actually have a better knowledge of how productive these websites or apps are.
all right. Well, for WhatsApp, I run trainings from time to time on WhatsApp. We have online classes for teenagers and young adults, basically around leadership and responsibility from time to
Okay.
time. Then for my Facebook, I upload videos on my Facebook from time to time, talking about we
Okay.
discuss different issues. Then I also put some of my write-ups out there because I just believe there are three ways to speak. I strongly believe that one of the reasons why society is the way it is now is because some people that know the truth have stopped talking. Everybody just wants to mind
Hmm.
their business.
True.
So I know that there are three ways you can talk. You can either talk through, you can talk orally, you can talk through writings, and you can talk through skits or even music. So I engage these platforms to talk, to express myself, to correct some things I notice that are wrong in society among our young people and things like that. So that's what I use it for.
All right, great, great, great. Okay, so I noticed that like while reading your bio, you said something about um, loving to read books, right? And
Yes.
I, for one, also I grew up with books. My mom was a librarian growing up
Wow. Okay.
till she retired about, was it about 10 years ago? I can't really, really remember. Anyway, so what book would you recommend to anyone out there that would either want to start an NGO or would want to become an entrepreneur? Which book do you feel has actually impacted you greatly? And it can be more than one book if you have more than one book to share. But please let us
Yeah.
know the books that you really do have interest in.
All right. I'm going to recommend three books right now.
Okay.
And the very first book I'll recommend is my book, Dear Teenagers.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Okay.
reason why I'm recommending my book is because I strongly believe that most of the people we have on the online space who are actively involved are young people, and they will gain so much from reading the book.
Okay.
It revolves around the basic aim of the book is to correct the mindset of young ones from mediocrity to transformation.
Hmm.
So they deal with mediocrity mindset and embrace the transformational mindset and go all out,
Okay.
get what they want, place demands on life, and get what they want out of life. So the second book I'll be recommending here is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And the third one I'll be recommending here is, sorry, let me get the title. The author, The
Okay.
Art of the Start by Guy Kawasaki.
Can
So
I
the
see
reason
if
why
you
I'll
have
be
it there? Can you just show it? Can you just show it on the screen if you have it there, so that we'll be able to see it?
all right. Okay, so can you hold on for me, sir? I don't have
Oh,
the second
sorry,
one here.
if it should take you a while to get it, don't bother about it. I thought it was
It's here.
just somewhere that. Okay.
All right. This is the first book I'm recommending. Dear
Okay. Great. That's
Teenagers,
your own book, right?
my humble self.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Yeah, this is my book. Yes. And this is the second book I'm recommending. It's That Frog by Brian Tracy. It's a book that will
I'm sorry,
spur
I
you
can't
to
really see
action.
that. It's not really showing on the screen properly. Can you bring it to the center?
Okay. Can you
Okay.
see it
Great.
now, sir?
Yes. Yes.
All right. That Frog by Brian
All right.
Tracy and
Okay.
The Art of the Start by Guy Kawasaki.
Okay. Okay. All right then.
Yeah, so these are books that would spur anybody to take action because the greatest thing about entrepreneurship is to start. So
True.
starting is the major thing. How to start,
True.
how to go about it. So those are the books I recommend for now. There are so many
All
other
right.
books, but for now.
Definitely. Definitely. There are tons of books out there. Tons of books out there. All right. So my next question is, where do you see yourself and your company in the next 5 years? Where do you see yourself and your company in the next 5 years?
Yeah, in the next 5 years, where should I start from myself, my company? We are one, I said we are separate entities. Well,
Okay.
personally, in the next 5 years, I see myself putting about 25 books out there for young people, books that would
Okay.
help them to correct so many things about their lives. I see
Hmm.
myself helping over 1,000 young people to, get their books published, get necessary documents they need for whatever it is they want to do with their lives. And then talking
Okay.
about the company, I see my agribusiness taking the position of supplying raw materials to industries, especially outside the country, outside Nigeria. And I see
Okay.
myself helping over 2 million teenagers to get a better idea or get better prepared on the career choice or the career path they would like to take. There's actually a project I'm working on for teenagers, and I'm very hopeful that it is. I don't want to like bust it out now, but I don't want to open it out now. But I'm sure it's going to
No
help
problem.
millions of teenagers, millions of Nigerian teenagers out there to understand how they can tailor their passion into a particular course of study in school. So they don't just go to school and waste the next 4, 5, 6 years of their lives and then come out not knowing where to start from all over. So these are things I see myself doing in the next 5 years and many more.
All right, great, great. That is wonderful. All right, I hope that like you get to achieve all your dreams, and as they say, write the vision and make it plain, and don't
Yeah.
worry, it's going to come to pass. All right, so on to the next question. Who is an up and coming in your network that you think we should be keeping an eye on? All right, who is that person that like
Okay.
that okay, this person is an entrepreneur, this person is doing exceptionally well, or probably the person that is also has an NGO and the person is doing something great that you feel that like we should watch out for in the years to come.
Uh, am I allowed to mention just one person, sir?
Well, we have limited time, but let's do two.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'll recommend two people, Richard Greatman and Blessing Abuola. These are
Okay.
two.
So
Okay.
yeah, please continue.
Okay. Richard is male, Blessing is a female, and they are doing so well. Well, I don't really know if they are cut out for the entrepreneurship aspect, but then they have NGOs already. Blessing deals with emotions of young people. And
Okay.
Richard deals more with the spiritual aspects of young people. I feel these two are really, really going to change the world. Like they have so much to offer the world, and the world should look
Oh,
out for them.
yes, yes.
Yes.
The emotional part of anybody is really, really critical. Also, the
Yeah.
spiritual part. Those two are key, and I want to believe that, like, if they keep at what they are doing, they will stand out
Yeah.
someday. All right.
Yes.
So, the very last question on the list is: where can people find you? Do you have a website, Instagram handles, anything that, like, just sell yourself right now? Tell people how they can actually get across to you.
All right. Well, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter with my name. My name is my handle, Oluwalonimi Oniya. So with that single handle, you can find me anywhere. Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. Those are the four apps I use presently. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right then. On this note, we have come to the end of the interview. I am sure that like you've been able to learn one or two things from Miss Oniya, and I know that like if we gave her the whole day, she would actually share more insights as to how her journey has been, and a lot of things that like she hopes to do in the future. But we have limited time, and I, for one, I have gained a lot, especially when it comes to the books that she recommended. I most likely would probably be looking out for them and would add them to the list of books I would love to read this year. All right. So on this note, we have come to the end of today's episode. And Ms. Oniya, it's a pleasure having you on the show today. Thank you for gracing the occasion. I hope that like some other day, if we call on you, you would come around to grant an interview again.
Sir, thank you for having me here, sir.
Okay, great. All right, so guys, as you know, if you're watching from Facebook or YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and help us to grow, to help other people out there to know that, like, hey, entrepreneurship is not that easy, but with tenacity, with consistency, you can actually get to where you want to get to. My name remains Adam Oluwalonimi, and this is the Otumba Adams Show. Have a lovely day and be the best version God has created you to be. Sign out, guys.